All right, here we go. The last three. We are joined by a sleeping Grace for those of you who are watching. Maybe tough to see, but there she is. Let's not be too bothersome to her. Take her off screen. She's camera shy. Connor, you ready to go?
Of course, I did my research.
You did your research, yeah. All 10 minutes of it.
Yeah, you wish it was 10 minutes.
I do wish it was 10 minutes. We put way too much time into doing this.
Yeah, it takes like over an hour to research each group.
I was texting a buddy of mine saying I've got a solid 20, 25 hours put into researching the World Cup this year.
Yeah, I did a lot of research. I better know everything that's going on with the World Cup now.
What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Designated Players Podcast. It is episode 127. Goodness me, you've talked to me for 127 episodes.
Don't
I should,
remind me.
I should charge you for that.
Kind of
Um,
kind of charge me for it.
it is back to the World Cup. It is our last three groups. We're in Group F. We've got Belgium, we've got Canada, we've got Morocco, and we've got Croatia. We've got some pretty bold predictions from what I'm hearing.
Probably
Isn't
only
that
coming
right,
from your
Connor?
side.
Isn't that right, Connor?
Nope, not on my side.
Yeah, that's right, because you're boring. Oh, I'm gonna pick the European teams because I'm a Euro snob and I want to be right. Loser. Um, we'll go through them. We'll give our previews, predictions. If you don't know what we're doing, we're already on Group F. Go look at our other episodes. It's not hard to figure out. Go watch our clips on YouTube. We're not going to explain it.
Hmm.
We've done this too many times to explain. Um,
Exactly.
pop that up there. Before we do that, of course, it's 127 episodes. We haven't changed yet. Scarf of the week. What do you got?
I've got an homage to a one Ricardo Pepi who just got left off USMNT World Cup squad.
Heartbreaking.
It
And then he
is
scored today.
just to rub it in his face.
Yeah.
He should have hit the Ivan Tony celebration.
We call that the Alex Moweel celebration, sir. Please get it right.
When did Alex Mouille do that celebration?
Oh my God. Do you not know this story?
No,
So
and I don't want to hear it.
no, you want to know. So I'm in this Facebook group with all the Red Bull fans, right? Um, I don't know if he had like a ghost account or somebody showed him this, but they would slander him every week about the things that he would do. I don't know if he put a tweet out or something that said like, "Oh, just wait, something's gonna happen." He scored a goal, ran directly to the camera, and did this, and everybody lost their mind. It was the greatest thing I've ever seen. I've sent that in the group
I don't. Anytime you send something Red Bull related, I don't look at it. I just skip it.
because you're a loser. We get it.
I just
Um,
don't care.
I have scarves that relate to every team in or at least one team in each episode that we're going to record. And this one is pretty straightforward, pretty easy. I got to put it together.
Ooh, Montreal.
Oh, for the
Oh,
Canadian.
that's an easy one. Yeah,
Yeah, for the I
Canada.
have I have one for each Canadian team. By the way, I just chose this one because they Canada is mainly Toronto and Montreal based. But I think more Montreal. So um,
Well, that and I think Montreal is. I want to say the only one with a starter. If I go through in my head really quick,
Jonathan Osorio.
I don't know if he starts. Does he?
He's going to. I think he's been hurt, so he's going to.
Maybe depends on how you
Listen,
line him up.
listen. It it's really only going to pay off when they get to the final four. So
You say the Final Four. What is this?
final.
March
March
Madness?
Madness, baby. Uh, all right, let's jump into this because I'm tired of stalling here. Start with Belgium.
Yeah.
Or the number two team in the world, Belgium. They enter their 14th final with some of the best players in the world. That's not up for debate. And a dream to make it to the final game. They haven't made it to that final game yet. They're in the back end of what they've called their golden generation. Um, and listen, that golden generation helped them magnificently um, to get out of Group E in UEFA qualifying. Do you know who they played? Do you want to know?
I can only imagine.
Oh my God, it was ridiculous. I can't believe they got a group like this. So difficult. Belarus, which I'm pretty sure is the size of like Delaware. Estonia, the Czech Republic, and Wales were, we joke a lot here, but this is probably one of the tougher UEFA groups we've seen. So 5 teams: Belarus, Estonia, Czech Republic, Wales. Um, Former Everton legend Roberto Martinez leading this group, assisted by another Red Bull legend, Thierry Henry. Um, Trying to make it all the way. They had a very good run in 2020 Euros, all the way to the quarterfinals. They made it to semis in 2018, and were second place in their Nations League group. Like we talked about, this our last golden generation run. A lot of these guys are going to be done after this, so you know that they're going to give it everything they got. Speaking of giving it everything they got, what have they been giving to their last couple games?
They've been giving Nations League games, and that I believe, as you said, they finished second in their Nations League group, correct?
They did.
Yes. So they're actually on a surprisingly good run of form, even despite finishing second in their Nations League, which includes a 6-1 win against 26th ranked Poland, 1-1 draw against 19th ranked Wales, a 1-0 win against Poland, a 2-1 win against Wales, and then a 1-0 loss against 8th ranked Netherlands to round it out. So overall, pretty good. Honestly, that run of form, I would think, would win a group, but I would imagine the loss to the Netherlands is probably what sank those chances. But yeah, not too bad.
Yeah, so lots of goals out of there too, right? We talked about that. So Kevin De Bruyne, Michy Batshuayi, Yuri Tielemans, Axel Witsel, Trossard, Den Donker, lots and lots of goals coming from various people. So one of those people is a key player for me. Goes by the name Kevin De Bruyne. And punch for punch, he is the greatest footballer on the face of the earth right now. He is one of my all-time favorite players that has never played for one of my teams. Like, he doesn't displace Alex Mouille on my list, but like if we took all of the players who played for Everton and Red Bull out, he's up there. By the way, that has to be like 9 episodes straight. We've got an Alex Mouille reference in there, so
Yeah, and all 9 of them were made by you.
You're dang right. You're dang right. He's got great vision. I mean, you watch him play, and it's like this is how you want to teach everybody how to play the game. Inch perfect passes. He can run at you with pace. He can score the ball. He can pass the ball. He can defend well. He is probably one of the best players at this tournament, if not the best. If you don't know who he is, you have to look him up. I mean, we can talk all day about him, but you should know who he is.
Yeah, I would assume if he's one of the best players in the world, if not the best player, he's going to be one of the best players at the World Cup. So
you would hope.
This is the analysis people pay for, I'm sure.
They don't pay us yet. They don't pay us yet.
I'm just thinking as I'm looking through like my list of top players here that at some point in time, Chelsea has had, I think, every single key piece of the Belgium golden generation. But the sad part is not a single one of them plays for the team currently.
That's true. Very true.
Speaking of guys that don't play for the team currently, Romelu Lukaku is one of my top players.
Everton GOAT
and Chelsea GOAT.
We don't care. Nobody asked.
I asked.
I did not.
I brought it up first. Currently at Inter Milan, on loan, might I add, so technically still a Chelsea player in the grand scheme of things.
Is he really?
I believe so. Yeah, it's just a loan, and I don't even think there's an option to buy if I remember correctly. So he will be coming back to the team unless they agree to a deal later on. But that's not what we're here for. Lukaku on his best, we know he's one of the deadliest strikers in the world. The only issue is that lately he really hasn't been at his best. For Chelsea last season, he struggled a lot. Really couldn't like get into like good form, good consistent form with the team. You know, obviously he'd show up here and there for some good performances, but the consistency definitely was not there. And this season for Milan, I don't know if he's been injured. I'm not sure the situation. I would imagine he's been hurt at some point, but he's only had 4 appearances with 1 goal and 1 assist. So not a ton of game time. Nations League, he only played one game for Belgium. World Cup qualifying, though, he was very good. He had 5 goals and 1 assist in 4 games. So that just kind of shows like the difference in level of what could be for Lukaku. You get the 5 goals, 1 assist in 4 games, or you can get the 1 goal, 1 assist in 4 games. So I think he's going to be a key factor in what level he can take Belgium to. Because if he's on and he's scoring, this is a team easily threatening to win the whole thing.
It's really funny after you made that comment about Chelsea players basically running the Belgian team. I looked, all of my key players are former Chelsea players.
Yeah, mine
Um,
too.
my question is, how do you know Romelu Lukaku on his best day is one of the best strikers in the world? You never saw that for Chelsea, only for Everton.
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, I saw what he did at Inter Milan.
I didn't. I only saw what he did at Everton. Goat.
Well, you should open your eyes then.
Um, I only watch good teams. Stop. My next player, Eden Hazard, on his day, a single top five best player in the world. You will not be able to argue that against me. I will die before that is something I concede. His ability to run at you at pace, create space, assist, score, dribble, every aspect of the attacking game, he has perfect. His defensive work rate is pretty good. It all depends on what Hazard shows up. We know that he struggled at Real Madrid with injuries and getting on the field, um, falling out of favor with managers. But knowing that this might be his last run at World Cup glory, do we see that old Eden Hazard come back? And do we see him take it to that next level? I think we do. And I think we see a revival of Eden Hazard on the world stage in 2022.
There's nothing more than I would like than to see that.
You and
He's
me both. You and me both.
genuinely, and I haven't had, the opportunity to watch other guys consistently like Messi and Ronaldo, but considering he was at Chelsea for so long, he was the most exciting and talented player that I got to watch. I mean, it was such a joy to be able to watch him week in, week out and just tear teams apart. I mean, the Chelsea like social media page will post goals or like amazing runs from him. And it just brings back so much nostalgia of being able to watch him just tear defenses apart. The only issue is I really just don't think he's that same player anymore. I don't even think it's like a consistency thing. Like I think he's just not at that level anymore. And it sucks to say that because he's one of my favorite players ever. But uh I mean, obviously I'll hope that he can get to that level for this World Cup. Maybe that added bonus of this really being the last run for the golden generation helps, but I'm not gonna get like too I'm not gonna jump the gun on him being at that level that he was at when he was at Chelsea.
No, I agree. I think prepping these last couple of teams, I picked with my heart more than I did current form.
Mm-hmm.
So I fell into that trap a little bit. But who's your other key player?
I've got another former Chelsea player, Thibaut Courtois.
Way.
We love a bit of goalkeeper here.
We love a good goalkeeper.
Playing for Madrid this season. Shockingly, I was literally just checking this as we were talking. He has 10 appearances so far in La Liga, not a single clean sheet, which that kind of blew my mind. I can't believe he doesn't have one this season. But we know what he did last season. He was unbelievable, arguably the best goalkeeper in the world. Hasn't had that same level so far this season. Even for Belgium, hasn't really been at that same level. He had 2 games at the Nations League, no clean sheets. And in World Cup qualifying, he had 5 games and only one clean sheet. So, I mean, across the different competitions that I collected, that's 17 appearances and one clean sheet, which is not a great track record. Obviously, not going to always be his fault. There may be defensive slip ups in front of him, but we know what Thibaut Courtois can do. He can be one of the best goalkeepers in the world, and he did it as recently as last season. So I'm not counting him out. I can definitely think he will be a super crucial player for them. I don't think he's going to be super busy considering the guys in front of him are very good, but if he can step up and make those couple of key crucial saves, that's a huge difference maker for the team.
Yep, I mean he's got the one clean sheet that matters in the UEFA Champions League final of last season.
Mm-hmm.
Just watching him play that game put him in I mean, we talked about how Keylor Navas is pretty disrespected as a goalkeeper. I think Thibaut Courtois is very close on that list, even though he is the goalkeeper that was used to disrespect Keylor Navas. He is still up there. People didn't rate him before that, and I am one of them. I'll put my hand up and say, yeah, he's okay. He's not great. Watching what he did in that Champions League final as a goalkeeper myself made my jaw drop. Like it was unbelievable what he was able to do to keep Liverpool off the board. Um, Great shot stopper, really good at controlling his box. Been with this team for a while, the Belgian side, so good chemistry with his back line, good organizer. They're going to be tough to break down, and even when they do, they still have to get through that last layer, which is Courtois. Good luck. That's all I got to say. Um, Give me a starting 11. What you think might happen in their starting 11?
Sure. So I went with a 3-4-2-1 here.
Me too.
Nice, nice. Okay,
Ooh.
good. So I've gone with Courtois in goal, obviously. A back three defense of Toby Alderweireld, Jan Vertonghen, and Den Donker. Midfield four, I've gone with Yannick Carrasco on the left, Tielemans and Witzel in the middle, and then Meunier on the right. The two attacking mids, I've got Eden Hazard and De Bruyne, and then up top, I've got Lukaku, and then I also put slash Batshuayi. That's just, I guess, in case Lukaku's not either match fit or he's hurt. But I would think Lukaku's the starter on like any normal day.
We were so close. So close. If you weren't so wrong about the right back, we would have been perfect. Um, so yeah, I've got a 3-4-2-1. I've got Courtois, Alderweireld, Vertonghen, Den Donker in the back three. Left to right, I've got Carrasco, Tielemans, Witzel, and Castagne from Leicester. I want to say Leicester.
Yeah, Leicester.
Um, Meunier has been on and off with injuries, and I believe that has kind of held him out of the team and allowed Castagne to move in. And because of that, I don't think he's lost it. He played most of the Nations League games. So I think he's got that spot. KDB, Hazard, and Lukaku, but I also have if Lukaku can't go because of the bicep injury that he got. Must be lifting too much. I put Batshuayi in there as well.
Sick. All right.
Nice. Going from one of the strongest teams to one of the most questionable teams, it's Croatia. No, I'm just kidding. It's Canada.
Nah. You trying to say Canada's questionable?
I am.
Oh.
Want to know why? They're the I believe, and I may be wrong, second or third lowest ranked team at the tournament at 41. I believe they're third. I think it's Ghana, Qatar, and then Canada. They're in a bit of a pickle at the moment. Their pre-tournament friendlies leading up to this World Cup were boycotted due to fighting for jersey rights and fair treatment and things that were not football related but necessary. I won't bash them for that. I won't really get into it too much, but they were fighting and protesting over very necessary things, which great for the future, but for the immediate future, not so much. They've only got 3 wins in their last 8 games, but they are getting some players back from injury and are ready to push for some results. Only in their second finals appearance ever, looking to get out of the group for the first time, Englishman John Herdman leads what I'll call a promising side against improbable odds, hoping to make some history for Canada. Talk to me about the last 5 games.
So last 5 games for them have looked like a 4-0 win against Curacao, 86th ranked, a 2-1 loss against 80th ranked Honduras, a 2-0 win against 50th ranked Qatar, a 2-0 loss against 14th ranked Uruguay, and a 2-2 draw against 85th ranked Bahrain. So, kind of like you said before, results haven't been great going in.
Right. And really they only have one win against the only one of the only two teams lower than them in the tournament.
Actually, I think I just looked at Saudi Arabia is also below them in ranking. They're at
You're
51.
right. Yeah, yeah. So it's Saudi Arabia. So they're the fourth lowest. You're right. Good catch.
Yeah. But
Uh,
yeah, they only beat one World Cup team, and it was one of the few teams that's ranked lower than them.
correct. So then you've got this issue about goal scorers. You got Jonathan David, who's scoring at a click, if you will. Um, Cavallini has scored. Larin has scored. Kone, Vittoria, Alfonso Davies, and an own goal. Those are the goal scorers in the last 5 games. Now here's the issue: Alfonso Davies coming off injury. Um, who's the other one who's coming off injury? Atiba Hutchinson, who is always I mean, he's 39. I can't imagine he's getting too much game time, but he was always a key piece for them. He's coming off injury. Um, this side has a bunch of promising players who have yet to be tested on the world stage, and that is what we are going to try and figure out. We mentioned one of their key players already, Alfonso Davies, starting left back for the best team in the German Farmers League, and one of the best outside backs in the world, period. He is coming off the knock, but he will be at the World Cup. We know what he brings. He's blistering fast pace, great recovery speed, good solid one-on-one defending, and when he gets forward, he can serve the ball. Um, I don't know if there's any winger in this group or if they get beyond that that can outpace him. I think he keeps up with every single player in the world. But he does play a little bit more advanced usually in these teams. He's usually more as an attacker than an outside back. But we'll see how that works in. Um, we know that if he plays on the wing, he can work back on the defense. We know that if he plays in the defense, he can work forward, so he gets on both sides of the ball no matter where he is. But he's going to give out great service, and is obviously one to watch for this team.
Yeah, I mean, I'll jump in on the next pretty obvious one here. Jonathan David, definitely another massive player for this team. One that I think gets slept on a bit, just considering the fact that Alfonso Davies does get so much hype and attention. But Jonathan David is such a key part to this team. For Lille this season, he's been phenomenal. 9 goals, 3 assists, and 14 appearances. He's been red hot. And even for Canada as well, playing pretty well. 5 goals and 2 assists in World Cup qualifying. And a goal against Qatar in friendlies. So going to be a super crucial piece up top. Davies can do a lot in terms of getting attention and bringing that blistering pace, but someone's got to be up top to finish the goals, and Jonathan David's going to have to be that guy for them.
Correct. He's got 22 goals and 34 appearances for Canada. So he steps on the field, he scores. I also listed as him probably the second best player in the team. But he will be paired up or, rotating off of another important player in Kyle Larin. He is the legend of the nightmare transfer to Turkey, streaming in theaters near you. It sounds like a movie title, doesn't it?
It does.
He he finally got out of there. He settled in at Belgium and is going to be a key piece in this attack. 54 appearances for Canada, already 25 goals, 93 goals and 28 assists in his 243 games in his club career. We know the guy's going to be able to score. We know that he's going to create chances, and the rate at which he does that is going to be important for this team's ability to survive. Your defense can only hold so long, especially against Belgiums and Morocco's and Croatia's. I mean, you can't hold them all forever. So you have to score goals, give them some relief.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I also had Kyle Aaron as my last top player. The only thing I'd add on that is I believe when I was looking at club level, he only has, I think, 1 start this season. He makes a lot of sub appearances. He's got 9 in total. only got one goal so far. So, he's not coming in great form, at least from the club level. But, obviously, you and I know very well what he can do
Correct.
at the national team level for Canada. So, even if he's not coming in the best form, definitely not someone to look over.
Right. And then there are different ways that you can get certain players involved here for a starting 11. So right now I've got him in a 3-5-2, but I can easily see that changing to like a 3-4-3 if Laren they don't think is ready to go. So um, right now I've got Borjan in goal, Vittoria, Miller, and Waterman in the back three, Alistair Johnston, Eustachio, Osorio, and Davies with Kone in front of them. And then I've got Laren and David up top. However, if I were to switch that to a 3-4-3, same back three, same middle four, but I would take Laren out. Kyle Laren out, and I put Tajon Buchanan in to play as a right winger. And then maybe Kone out and play Junior Hoylett as a left winger. Um, so they've got flexibility in this roster, which could help them. Uh, you know, put off some people or change shape mid game, make people react to them.
Say that again. What is it? You flew through that lineup? I have no idea what you just said.
Do you listen to me?
No,
What do you need me to repeat, Mister?
the
I don't
whole
listen.
thing.
Ay ay ay. 3-5-2. Okay, three,
Uh-huh.
five,
Uh-huh.
two.
Uh-huh.
Okay, Borjan in goal. Did you catch that?
Uh-huh.
Okay, Vittoria, Miller, Waterman. Back three.
Okay.
Alistair Johnston, Eustachio, Osorio, and Davies in the midfield four with Ismail Kone in front of them. And in front of him, Laren and David.
Got
Why
it.
do you look confused?
No, I understand now.
Very good. I'm glad. Can you give me yours?
Mine is very different from yours.
Of course it is, because
Um,
you don't know ball. I know ball. You don't know
I went
ball.
with a 4-4-2, and I
Okay.
went with Borjan in goal. Um, I'm gonna butcher this name. I apologize ahead of time. I've gone with Sam
Bad caboose.
Adekugbe at left back, Kamal Miller and Steven Vittoria at center back, Alistair Johnson at right back. The midfield four, I've got Davies on the left, Eustachio, and then either Atiba Hutchinson or Kone in the other midfield spot, and then Buchanan on the right, and then I've got David and Laren up top.
So that's basically what I said I would change mine to, except I'd go three in the back with four and then three. So same three in the back for me, same four, and then take Kone and Laren out and put Junior Hoylett on the left and Tajon Buchanan on the right. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. See what I have to work with, people? This is what I have to work with every day. Let's move on before I confuse you to the point where you log off.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Morocco, the 22nd ranked team in the world, beating DR Congo to qualify for their sixth ever finals. Looking to move past the round of 16 for the first time ever, led by a fellow Moroccan head coach, Walid Regargoui.
Nice.
Regargoui. Yeah, that's how we're going to do it. Um, he's going to have his hands full trying to handle the very impressive attacking options of this other group. But he's hoping that his defense can hold strong and his attack can put one more in than the other team so that they can get 3 points. Have they done that in their last 5 games?
Sometimes not. Um, Last 5 games have included a 3-0 loss to the USA, because of course. Um,
Clear.
a 2-1 win against South Africa, a 2-0 win against I'll do the rankings afterwards. A 2-0 win against Liberia, a 2-0 win against Chile, and a 0-0 draw against Paraguay. Rankings are USA 16, South Africa 67, Liberia 150, Chile 29, Paraguay 47. And I want to add on that. it feels like every single team has beat up on Chile.
I know,
I
right?
can't, I don't remember a game that Chile's won. It's like every team has beat Chile.
They are definitely moving in the wrong direction as a national team. I'll tell you that. Goal scorers from those games: Boufal, Sabiri, El Nesyi, Fajr, and El Kabi. So spread out a little bit, but definitely have some focal points. Um, one of my key players, Akraf Hakimi. One of those signings of the PSG overhaul back in 2020, but the S is a dollar sign because money.
Mm-hmm.
Um, he's considered one of the best right backs in the game right now. He's a 24-year-old with great vision and possession, very good going forward, delivers really good service. When he's on the defensive end, he gets stuck in. He doesn't get beat easily. I could expect a lot of teams to avoid that side when they're attacking, simply because of how dangerous he is.
Sorry, I got distracted. I was looking up Chile's form. In their last 10, they have 2 wins, 1 draw, and 7 losses.
If we weren't doing this over Wi-Fi, I'd make you turn it off.
Well, I we were just talking about it, and I got distracted looking into it. Um,
You distracted? No way.
yeah, so I wasn't listening to, so I don't. I would assume you talked about Hakimi as a top player.
Very good.
Okay, it was a fair assumption. My next top player is Hakim Ziyech. Um, has not been involved with
Can
the
you pick
team.
somebody who's not from Chelsea or
No,
who
I
hasn't
can't.
ever played for Chelsea?
I can't. It's just I don't know what to tell you. Chelsea takes and makes.
Chelsea takes and ruins, brother.
What are you talking about? Look at all these players that are going to the World Cup. You think they'd be doing that without Chelsea? Yes, Hakim Ziyech has not been involved with the Moroccan team much in recent years, but has been called back into the team and will be coming to the World Cup this year. Easily one of their best attacking players, even if he hasn't been with the team in the last couple of years. He's incredibly talented. Not getting much game time on the club level though. Only 4 appearances so far with no goals and assists. And as mentioned before, hasn't really played with the Moroccan team much as of late. So did not play in AFCON or in World Cup qualifying. So it'll be really interesting to see how that fits in chemistry wise with the rest of the team. But regardless, still an incredibly talented player that will have surely a major impact for them.
Yeah, he retired after he got into that fight with his head coach. We are talking about Ziyech, right? I wasn't paying attention. Sorry,
Yeah,
I zoned out.
I can go through the whole thing again if you want me to.
I really don't. I really don't want to hear it. No, so I thought it was really interesting. I was reading up on that, how he got into this huge fight with the head coach and basically just quit. Then they sacked him. He's like, "Hey, you want to come back?" He's like, "Yeah, sure." So he comes back, and like I said, he lit up the world when he was at Ajax. Everybody loved him, and then he went to Chelsea, ruined his career, like they do to everybody. But good in possession, good on the dribble. Um, he's going to cut in, he's going to shoot. Excuse me. A lot of that attack is going to run through him. So, interesting to see what he can do on the world stage. My last one is Youssef N. Nesiri. He is the central focus of their attack. The Sevilla man. He's got 14 goals in 49 games for Sevilla, 57 and 215 for the club. He's mainly a sub, much like Kyle Larin, mainly a sub for Sevilla, but he does get the most time at top of this Moroccan team. Very good in front of goal. You give him the opportunity, and he will make you, he will punish you. But the other thing that he's also very, very good in the air. So Ziyech, Hakimi, those players on the wings who are serving balls, he's going to get on top of them and he's going to finish them. So definitely look out for him to be a menace for opposing center backs and see if they can handle him.
Nice. I actually had a different last top player here. Um,
What? Unacceptable.
yeah, yeah. Well, that's what we bring. We bring a depth of knowledge on both sides. Um, I went with Nusar Masraoui, if that name rings a
Okay.
bell.
Yeah,
Fullback,
the Bayern outside back.
huh?
The Bayern outside back.
Yeah. As you mentioned, currently playing for Bayern, previously at Ajax. made 10 appearances so far for Bayern, has 3 assists. Um, I didn't look into this one, but he has a similar timeline with Morocco, I guess, as Ziyech did, in that he didn't play for them at AFCON and didn't play for them in World Cup qualifying. I don't know if it was for the same reasons or if he just recently made a switch to Morocco, but I do believe he was um with Morocco previously, but will definitely be a crucial piece for them, whether he ends up playing on the right. I mean, yeah, whether he ends up playing on the right or Hakimi ends up playing on the right. But I have to say, with him and Hakimi, that's arguably the best fullback pairing in the World Cup. I mean, I'm sure other teams probably also have really good ones, but that's super strong, and that's obviously going to make a big difference for this Morocco team and what they'll be able to bring to the table. But I have a similar question here as I did with Ziyech. Is because he hasn't been involved in the team much lately, I kind of wonder if there's going to be some chemistry issues coming in.
Yeah, definitely a fair shout. Definitely a fair shout. I just don't know how much that'll play in. What I can tell you though is Canada just released their official roster, it sounds like.
Hmm. Okay.
And nobody that we mentioned wasn't on that list.
Is there any
Um,
surprises left off?
not left off.
Fabrizio posted it.
Yeah, it looks like it. No, it
Interesting.
looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23.
Oh,
It
I've
looks
never.
like the one that we were going off of transfer market is the right one. So that's good. But yeah, you've got 5 Montreal players, 3 Toronto players, one from Minnesota, and then a couple from overseas. And
And
then
one from
one,
Vancouver.
yeah, one white cap. So
I think the only name on this list I don't recognize is David Wotherspoon.
yeah, he a 32-year-old from St. Johnston FC plays in Scotland.
Hmm.
Never heard of him.
Sounds like
Didn't see him.
USA clear.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, like if Canada get a point, they're lucky. No, we're just kidding. Maybe we'll see.
Don't spoil your
Um,
predictions.
I won't. What I want you to do is spoil your starting 11 prediction for Morocco.
This
That's what I
should be a
want
fun one.
you to do.
I probably butchered this pretty bad. Apologies ahead of time, Moroccan fans. Not that you're probably ever going to see this because we don't post starting 11s anymore, and that's okay. I've gone with a 4-3-3. I have Bono in goal. I've got to me this really doesn't matter. It's one or the other, but I've got Hakimi on the left, Saiss and Aguerd or Dari in the second center back spot, and then Mazraoui on the right. Midfield three, I've got Amrabat, Amala, um, and then I've got either Unahi or Harit. And then up top, my front three, I've got Bufal and Nasiri and Ziyech.
We are exactly the same.
Really?
Um, yes, I got
That's kind
Bunu
of
in goal.
surprising.
Yeah, Bunu, Bonu, however you want to pronounce it, in goal.
You might be right. It
Hakimi.
might be Bunu.
Well, I think this is going to tell you how much I know ball.
Uh-huh.
So when you look it up online, it's Bono. But when you look at his FIFA card, it's Bunu.
Interesting.
So I mean, and obviously FIFA's never wrong.
Of
So
course. Never.
so it's Bunu, Hakimi, Saiss, Aguerd, Mazraoui, Amrabat, Harit, Amala, Bufal, and Nasiri and Ziyech. I didn't give hypotheticals if one or the other was there, um, because it's going to switch anyway. So let's move on to the final team. We are flying through this one.
Yeah. Well, we got deadlines.
We do. We got to get this done. Um, let's move on to the Croats. The
Nice.
2018, right? the 2018 runners-up, currently 12th ranked in the world, looking to get back to that final game and take some revenge on that loss. They survived a brutal Group H against Malta, Cyprus, Slovenia, Slovakia, and Russia, who didn't finish. They got kicked out. No, actually, they did finish. They came in second, then they got kicked out.
Yeah, they went to the playoff and then they got
They
kicked
did,
out.
and they got kicked out. They topped their Nations League group. That was pretty cool. They're in the Nations League final. Zlatko Dalic or Dalic will be looking to repeat history because he did take them there to the final game in 2018. But the squad is just a bit older now. What that doesn't seem to have too much of an effect though. Talking about their last couple games.
Yeah, so as you mentioned, top their group in the Nations League. Um, and that certainly was indicative of their last 5 games, which included a 1-1 draw against 4th-ranked France, 1-0 win against 10th-ranked Denmark, 1-0 win against France, 2-1 win against Denmark, and then to wrap things up, a 3-1 win against 34th-ranked Austria. So, gotta say, coming in pretty fire form.
Yep. Yeah, they are. Um, am I going to change my predictions
Yeah,
maybe?
yeah, you probably should. I already
Let's talk. Let's
imagined you
talk. Let's
had
talk. Let's
them.
talk. Let's talk. Let's talk. Let's talk key players. Let's talk key players. Let's talk Luka Modric before I have to think about things.
Okay.
Um, the Croatian maestro. They call Messi the Argentinian
Luka Modric.
Modric.
Yeah,
Yeah,
of course.
he runs the show, right? 2018 Ballon d'Or winner, Real Madrid superstar. Again, if you don't know this one, look him up. Very, very good on the ball, great vision, good work rate. Play runs through him. You know what to expect when you get there. He's not like this where he's gonna have a game up here and then a performance down here. He's right down the middle. Well, actually, he's probably closer to the top, but he doesn't give you big swings. You know exactly what you're getting from him. Solid. I have left a very important former Chelsea player for you, so go right ahead.
Thank you. I was just about to jump into him, of course. Well, not former Chelsea player, current Chelsea player.
Is he
Uh,
on loan too?
no, what do you mean? He's still the team, unless we're talking about different players.
Oh, we're not. No, I have a note here. I had no idea he was still on Chelsea.
Yes, Mateo Kovacic is the next player on the list here for top players. Still currently on Chelsea to break the news to you. Um, he has 10 appearances for the team this season, just doesn't start a ton. He's got 1 assist so far. Um, and for Croatia as well, he's been heavily involved in Team World Cup qualifying and a Nations League as well. Because he's a midfielder, not necessarily super involved in the goals and assists, but as a Chelsea fan, I know what he can bring to the table. He's a really good dribbler from the midfield. He has really good ball control and possesses the ball very well. And he's certainly not afraid to track back and defend. He's someone who will put in the effort to do so. He's a great two-way player. It's going to be super crucial to play alongside Luka Modric and really solidify that midfield for them.
Yeah, I figured you would throw him in there, so I have some notes on him. Just didn't want to spoil it for you, you know.
Yeah, don't take my spotlight away from me.
I've got one more.
Me too.
Also in the Premier League.
Oh, we got different ones on this one.
Ooh, I have Ivan Perisic, former Inter Milan, now Spurs player. Variety of roles, attack, defense. Very good in the air, great vision, reads the game. Defensively, he'll get on interceptions, he'll get stuck into tackles, he'll block crosses. In the attack, serves very good balls, keeps possession very well, makes good runs in behind. He's a dual threat. My guess is they're going to play him more as an attacker, much like in 2018. But I would be interested to see if they flex him out a little bit, throw him in the back line when if they're trying to preserve a point or so. Um, that being said, I think he's one of the top 3 players in this team and definitely somebody to keep an eye on.
I'd be kind of surprised if he's the guy they go to try to lock things down at the end of a game.
I
He's
know, but that's
definitely,
what Spurs are doing. So
yeah, well, he's an attacking player. He was converted to a defender, so I don't think that's
you know who else did that?
You gonna tell me Alex Mouille?
I'm going to tell you, Alex Mouille. Yes, he did. He's Nashville's right back. Let's go.
Well, not anymore. Now they have an actual. Oh, you see what I did there, huh? Not anymore. Get it?
No.
I'm just gonna move on to the next player. I
Oh,
have,
Shaq Moore.
yeah. Oh, I thought you were just upset with the joke. Wow, that one really got to you, huh?
Please continue.
Okay, I'm gonna dive into the next player. My last player on top players list, Josko Gvardiol. I'm actually a
Okay.
big fan of this guy. I think he's really good. He's in the Red Bull system, so I'm sure you know about him.
Of
Currently
course,
playing
Red Bull takes
for
the world takes.
Yes, currently playing for Red Bull Leipzig. I like his versatility. Yeah, you can play him at center back, you can play him at left back. He's versatile across the back line. Um, Pretty young player, up and coming. Of course, rumored to Chelsea at some point. I'm sure he'll end up there eventually. Um, 13 appearances so far for Leipzig, only one clean sheet, but um, had a really good World Cup qualifying window for them, even if it was just only 4 games. Had 2 clean sheets in those games and a goal. I think he's going to be a key piece to this back line, especially for Croatia, even just going forward in the years. He's going to be one to watch for sure. And I think on the club stage, he's only going to get bigger. I think Leipzig is just the start for him. So he's one that I'm definitely going to be keeping an eye on as a crucial player in the back line for them.
Awkward because I don't even have him in my starting 11. Ugh.
Ooh, that is awkward for you. No wonder you have him outside of qualifying out of the group.
Unlucky. I got him in a 4-3-3. Unless you have more to say.
Nope, that's it.
Don't. Good because I didn't care. Um, I've got Livakovic in goal. Juranovic, Vida, Lovren, and Sosa in the back four. Brozovic, Kovacic, Modric in the middle three. Palisic, Kramaric, Perisic in the front three.
Wow, we have a very different team. I think we have the same formation too, but we have very different teams here. So yeah, I've got them in a 4-3-3 as well. Livakovic in goal. From left back to right back, I've got Sosa, Gvardiol, Sutalo, and Stanasic. Midfield three of Brozovic, Kovacic, Modric. And then my front three is Perisic, Vlasic, and Kramaric. That's a lot of itches. Oh, that was a run of 7 straight itches.
Hope you got some anti-itch cream.
Oh, boo. Boo.
Uh, all right. We went pretty quickly through that, mainly because we didn't ask a bunch of questions related to MLS. So, um, yeah, not a ton of MLS representation in here, is there? Outside of Canada.
Yeah, well, Canada's making up for the rest of the teams.
Correct. I mean, realistically, right? You've got one team that's going to win. Like, really, we should scale it on MLS ability, which means that while Canada may not finish like top two, with the MLS scale attached to it, they're clear.
So great. Really, what you're telling me is that Greg was thinking 300 IQ when he made his selections for the team,
Big facts. Big
and,
facts.
and we're gonna win it all. We have to
Easy.
now, right? Based on the MLS scale.
Easy. Easy. All right, let's just jump right into predictions so that you can
Yes,
yell at me.
I'm sure I will. Do you want me to go first then?
I do. I do.
Okay. This is not an easy group to predict, and I'm sure both of us will get yelled at for predictions here and there because we can never make everybody happy unless we just say everybody finishes first and everybody gets a trophy.
Yay.
Yay, everybody wins. I've got Morocco in fourth. I'm worried about the team chemistry and the cohesion here. I think they have really good star
Ooh.
quality players that I think are at least on a club level higher than the star players on Canada. But again, I just think that the team chemistry of Canada, they know how to play together. We've seen it firsthand. I'm worried. I'm not sure Morocco has the same thing going for them. So I've got them at fourth. I've got Canada on third. they're going to be a sneaky tough team. I think a lot of teams outside of CONCACAF are going to sleep on them. They're good. They have a couple of star guys and Jonathan David and Alfonso Davies that they can rely on to get things done if they really need something done. But the rest of the team is really solid as well. I mean, even the MLS guys that they bring along are super solid MLS guys like Kamal Miller and Ismail Kone and Alistair Johnston. Like these are super solid MLS players. So definitely not a team that should be slept on, but I just don't think the talent level is there to compete with a Croatia or a Belgium. At two, I've got Belgium. Maybe that one's a little bit of a surprise to people, but I just think that their stars are not playing at the level where we normally see them like at their best. Like I don't think Lukaku or Hazard are at their best. Even Courtois just this season. I know last season he was unreal, but in just the scope of this season, he hasn't been at that same level. So has me a little bit concerned for them. Obviously, they can, things can change when it comes to the World Cup. They can pick up their level, hit that level again. But considering their form going in, I think they're step behind Croatia. And obviously, I've got Croatia at one. I think their form going in is unreal. 4 wins and 1 draw in their last 5. And against good teams. Denmark and France are top 10 teams in the world. So they're showing, I think they have a really good mix of young players, young up and coming players, and veterans like Luka Modric. It's a team that I think is a bit underrated when you just think of Croatia. You're not necessarily thinking about like all the star players that they have on their team. And I like that I think they have probably, some good chemistry again, coming in on good form. I've got them above Belgium.
I don't hate that.
Okay.
I
Well,
hate
I'm
I
glad.
hate my
I'm glad to
own
have your
I hate
acceptance.
I hate my own picks,
You should, because I know they're going to be miserable.
but because of what you said, this is a tough group to predict. I think that is first of all, that is the craziest you've gone with your picks all
Well,
prediction
I'm
season.
getting
By
wacky
the way,
now.
you're getting crazy. You're flip flopping teams. Oh man, everybody, somebody check his temperature. He might be sick.
Well, let's not get too carried away. I still put the 2 European teams through.
I know you're a snob. So here's what I picked before we just had that conversation.
Oh boy.
I had Canada, Croatia, Morocco, Belgium. That was my 4-1.
Okay.
However, with the conversation we just had, I'm I'm a bit worried with I think your team chemistry when it comes to the Moroccan team. I don't think that's a bad shout at all. I was worried about how old Croatia was, and I didn't love their back line. But I don't know if I think this is one of those. So if the prediction I'm going to give, Canada at 4. I think the canceled friendlies, the protest for better representation and everything else that they've been doing hurts them in the long run. I also don't love their back line. Yes, they've got MLS proven vets. Don't love them. Sorry. Morocco at 3, Croatia at 2, Belgium at. I think Croatia and Morocco come down to like goal differential. I think they each pick up a win against Canada. They draw each other. They lose to Belgium, and it's basically whoever's going to lose to Belgium the least worst and beat Canada the best is going to move on. Seriously, because I think Morocco have enough talent to get through, and I think Croatia are a bit old. I don't love Kramaric. Never really have, but I mean, he can do a job. I think Belgium are out and out the best team here. Um, I think what was it? They're number 2 right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, number 2 overall. There's a reason for that. Um, you look at those teams that they've played. They lost to the Netherlands twice, which was an interesting shout. But when they played teams they were supposed to beat, they beat them single-handedly. Poland, Wales. So I think that they have enough to get it done. They're also led by an Everton legend and a Red Bull legend. So how can you not be successful with those 2 teams leading you? So that's how I'm going to go there. Um,
Yeah. Here's what I will say. If you're coming down to who's going to lose less to Belgium, I think you have to go Croatia there. I mean, the track record says it. They
Correct.
got results against France twice. They beat Denmark twice. Whereas Morocco, their best result was against Chile, who is high ranked right now, but will be dropping drastically soon, considering they've lost 7 of their last 10. So I think I know which team's showing up in the big game, to be honest, based on recent form.
Correct. Yeah. So yeah, that's how I'll do that. Um, I'll go Canada 4, Morocco 3, Croatia 2, Belgium 1.
I still think you're sleeping too much on Canada, but I'll take that. That's not too bad.
I mean, it's the same, just 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 flipped, right?
It's the same, except every single place is different.
Like it's the same as the two teams that we have going through are the same. The two teams we have missing are the same, and we just flip their position.
Yeah, it's close enough. We'll take it. It's
All
better than
right,
your
before
France prediction.
stop it. Before we go on, if you haven't checked out our France position, go check out our other episodes where we do all that. If you don't want to watch the whole episode, we've got clips up on YouTube, and our predictions are up on TikTok, and you should go check them out. They're really good. Um, we got Group G coming up next. That's a good one. Lots of big, bold predictions there. Brazil to miss? Question mark.
Don't you dare. Don't you. I will quit the podcast. Do not have me
um,
associated with someone making that prediction.
make sure you stick around and check that out because that'll be a good one. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching wherever you were. We hope you enjoyed it, and if you can, go leave us a like, subscribe, follow, do all that good stuff. Make sure you're following us on social media wherever you get your podcasts, and make sure you are checking out all of our clips and stuff. Make sure you subscribe wherever you get podcasts so you know the next one goes live. And we will see you next time on the next episode of the Designated Players Podcast. See ya.